So we're making black-eyed beans soup today. Black-eyed beans, making it from dry black-eyed beans, and we are going to add sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, also called white potatoes or Irish potatoes, we call it back in the Caribbean, carrots, onions, garlic. We're going to add some mixed herbs, all-purpose seasonings, black pepper, some coconut cream, a little bit of salt, and we're going to make some small dumplings called spinners with plain flour and water. Okay, so I'm going to get started. What you would need to do if you're using dry beans is that you need to soak them overnight. If you soak them overnight, then it's much easier to cook the next day. Alright, so you pour some into a pot, and then you proceed to wash the beans. Wash it 3 times and throw the water away. Alright. Right, so I've washed it 3 times now, and then I'm just going to add some water. I'm going to throw that water away. So we're now going to add some water to soak it. And you'll find once you've soaked it, when you check the next day, the beans will have doubled in size. Okay? There is a shortcut, by the way. You don't have to use dry beans, which takes ages for the beans to soak. You can actually buy cooked beans, which are already in the tin, and then you can just start doing your soup straight away. So, I'm going to add these to the fire after they have been soaked. And once you're soaking them, the next day, you got your pot of peas, just put it on the fire, bring it to the boil and let it continue to boil for another half an hour. After that, feel the peas. If it's nice and soft, then it's ready to go. This is what it should look like when it's finished. When you finish boiling it, you'll see that the water starts to go brown, and if you take one of the peas in your hand, if you squeeze it, you'll see that it's soft, whereas before it wasn't like that before at all. So this was the peas that was soaked overnight. Alright, you can see it's soaked up most of the water and it's now boiled and soft. I'm going to actually take the peas out because we want to blend it. And the peas I'm putting inside a blender. This is actually cold because it's one I prepared earlier. Didn't want you to wait 24 hours before I started to cook this thing. So the peas are cold. I'm putting it in the blender so we don't have bits of peas popping up in your soup. Might leave a few though, just to add texture. What I'm doing, I'm leaving the water so that we can actually cook the rest of the vegetables in the water. And the rest of the vegetables will also be blended. Okay, so you will note that's now in the blender, which I shall blend shortly. Now I'm going to add the chopped up vegetables. You can just, they've already been washed, so you can just throw them into the pan Doesn't matter if it's big because it's all going to be blended in the end anyway. I'm just chopping the garlic in half, potatoes in half. And then the sweet potatoes, chunky slices. Top that up with water so that everything is covered. And then just leave it to boil for about 20 minutes or so. If there's anything that you think is too big, you can just, the water's still cold so I can take it out and chop it a bit more. Okay. After the water gets hot, you won't be able to do that, else you'll get burnt. These in the blender. I'm going to add some water, put the lid on, and then I'm just going to puree these peas. Take it out, shake it. Okay, so you'll see within 30 seconds or so it's done. So I'm now putting that away. That I will add to the soup a little later on. Okay? I'm going to now make the dumplings. Spinners. You won't need to put these in until the vegetables are nearly cooked. Alright, but it does take a little bit of preparation, so that's why I'm going to start them now. So I'm going to get a plate. Put the spinners in once it's already cooked, and I'm using plain flour, salt and water, and using a fork to stir in initially, and then after that it will be the hands completely. So I'm going to wash my hands again. This is a messy job, but a bit of plain flour, that's just under a cup, small bit of salt, and then I'm going to stir in some water. Just do a small bit first. You might find you have enough, you don't need any more, which is the case with me. You can add a little bit more water if you want to make it thicker. The thicker the better with the spinners. So I'm stirring it with a fork at the moment, but now I'm going to get my fingers in it, because that's really the only way you can get the shapes you want and to get it nice and smooth. I'm going to make it a little bit more stiff, so I'm adding a little bit more flour, and then I'm going to put a bit of flour on the plate where I'm about to put the completed shapes. And you're really making these thinner than your little finger. In fact, thinner than your child's or any child's little finger. Okay, so notice how I've taken a small bit and then I roll it around in the hands, and there you go, it's done. Small bit, roll it around in the flour first, then roll it in your hands. There you go, it's done. You don't have to worry about getting it super smooth, because it's going to smooth itself out in the when you're cooking it anyway. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's a very quick thing to do. I mean, really, it could take you 10 minutes from start to finish to do these, because you see each one that you're rolling just takes maybe 5 seconds or 10 if you want to be finicky. So just take a bit off with your fork, roll it around in the flour. If it's too big, just take a bit off. There you go. And the idea is to complete these, because you want to put them all in the pot at one time, not half in or put it in while you're cooking it, because you want them all to be cooked to the same perfection. And actually with these, it doesn't really matter if they cook for a longer time than you planned. Should be at least 10 minutes really, but if it's half an hour or so, then that's fine. They're not going to go tough and they're not going to go too soft, but you just do want them cooked. So this is how you make spinners for soup. Plain flour, salt and water, simple as that. If you're worried about them sticking together, you can always just add a bit of flour to the rest that are completed. I'm just making some room for the rest. Once you put these in to the soup, the flour is going to make the soup thicker. So if it was quite runny before you put them in, it's going to have a bit more body once they're inside. Alright, you can see that I'm nearly done. Yeah, nearly done. So it's kind of going to be like a smooth vegetable soup. With dumplings in. These items are now cooked. If you put your fork in the potatoes, you see it goes right through. So I'm now going to spoon out the vegetables and put them on a plate to cool, because they're going to get blended. And while I've taken the vegetables out, then the water will be left, and I'm going to put the spinners in there so that they can start getting cooked. I will also at the same time put coconut cream in. In fact, I put the coconut cream in first so it starts to melt. So by the time the spinners go in, you've got the coconut flavour going through the spinners. Okay? So this is the coconut cream that I'm putting in. Just slicing it thinly so it melts faster. At the same time, I'm going to put the seasonings in. The black pepper, the all-purpose seasoning, and some mixed herbs. I haven't actually put any salt in yet. You could put it in now, or you could put it in at the end. Might not seem like there's much liquid in here, but liquid will be added later on from the blended peas and the blended vegetables. Right, coconut's melted, so I'm going to put the spinners in now. Alright, and then just leave it to boil. Now I'm going to take this away. The spinners are now cooked. It's taken about 10 minutes. I'm now going to empty the pea pureed into the pot and stir that in. See, it's quite thick. I'm also going to do the same with the pureed vegetables. You can see it's slightly orange because it's got the carrots and the sweet potato in. So this soup is more or less done. Just going to let it boil through for about 5 or 10 minutes so that all the flavours are blended. Then you can have a taste of it, see if it's got enough salt for you, if you want to add a little bit more, and see if you've got to, if you want to add peppers to it, as in hot pepper. You can add a bit of Scotch bonnet pepper to it, or you can add hot sauce. Okay, so I'm just going to let that boil for a little while now.